Good morning everyone. In this video, I will present to you the learning management system of the Global Institute University. This learning platform would permit you to manage all your courses and academic activities, learning activities online. To access this platform, ensure to copy the URL link highlighted in your navigator, preferably Moodle navigator. So when you access the link, you will get in a landing page offering some basic informations about the university. So the course promoted, some course categories, available courses, site announcement, and as well a footer where we have information about the location and some contacts of the university. So depending of your internet connection speed, it may take time to load. Now, to go to the platform itself, you should log in, and to log in you press this login button. Your login credentials will be provided by the administrator, by this by the IT staff of the university, or this platform administrator. So I will use some credentials to test the for teachers, for a teacher hole. So you enter your password and the name. In case you lost your password, feel free to use this lost password link to try to recover it, and avoid sharing your password to anyone. It's very important. So after you have filled this section, you can log in into the platform. Okay, when you log into the platform as a lecturer, you arrive back to the landing page. But the main difference between the previous and this one is that you can see your profile informations here, your profile here, some notifications if you have any, as well as and messages and announcements. Okay, here you can find two announcements welcoming me to two courses. Courses are generally created by the administrator, the system administrator. So you will generally be invited to these courses as lecturers, and you will receive notifications on this platform. So on the navigation link, you will also find on the navigation bar, you will also find a difference. A part of the home section that we had previously before login, we also have a dashboard section and my course section. We will explore what they all mean, and also the edit mode. We will see it in action very soon. So if you scroll down on this landing page, you will also find a section called My Course, where you can see some courses which were created for you, or that you can have access to. As a teacher, teaching those courses, I have access to Introduction to Software Engineering as well as Computer Science. The main people able to access these courses are teachers teaching the course, the system administrator, and of course enrolled students. And you can still find the different categories of the university, the different categories of courses which are similar to faculties in general, faculties or faculties or major. Okay, now we will go to the dashboard of our system. Okay, we are now on the dashboard section of this platform, where if I scroll down, you can see the course overview, which has typically the two courses I am in charge of computer science and introduction to software engineering. If you don't see any image, no worry. The system administrator are the one to decide to put images as in software engineering or not. So don't worry about that. It's not very important. So let's start this course. We will we will ensure to first of all see an instance where the course is already ready for use, already ready for us. So in the course computer science, you can see that there are already some content here. For example, the announcement section where you can't. Firstly, we are in the course section that permits us to see all the activities related to the course, all the resources offered by the course. So we have these announcements that permit us typically to make announcements as the name implies. The only thing we have to do is to click this announcement button and we arrive in the announcement page where if no discussions are created in the forum, you can simply add a discussion. For example, new assignments, as well as the discussion about assignments. Assignments. Okay, we can post it to the forum. To the forum. Okay, students will be able to see these messages, these announcements in their own site or the platform. Okay, if we go back to computer science, we already understood how the announcement sim and the course forum function. The other main functionality here is the live classroom. This live classroom, when you click on it, it permits you to have classes online with your students. To have classes online with your students. The only thing you have to do is to ensure to set up the class in advance. You can edit the class, give it a name, give it a name, give it a name, live classroom, live chapter 1, chapter 1, give it a name, decide on who can access this class. If you want only lecturers to have access to the class, maybe there are more than two lecturers, one or two lecturers in the class, and you have to discuss about it. You can do that, or you can do that only students can access it, or all the enrolled users. This is the default permission. Okay, so let us leave all the users to access it. You can define the home settings by having a welcome message. Um, by having a welcome message. Session timing to determine the time and the date in which the online class should go on. This will permit you to notify your students about that. And if presence is graded in your school, you can decide to grade it here. Okay, that's basically all for live classes. So after live classes, you can see that the live class has changed name from live in my classroom to live chapter 1 in case you just want to do live chapter 1. You can see another resources I added here, how to be successful in these courses, where I've just typically made some text and put it inside this file to give instructions about how to be successful in these classes. This is simply a some text, a page. I will explain you what is a page in more details later. But you can edit it. To edit it, just go to the settings, and you will see the edit settings where you can change the name, you can change the description as well as the content, and you also have some options to style that content. Note that you can add images, you can insert images, videos, audios, as well as recorded videos, and you are free to add links to structure it as you like. So those are the main characteristics of this of a page, and you can put the page typically everywhere, typically anywhere. So let's go back to the course computer science. We also explore how announcements, course forums, blue button looks like. In blue buttons, note that we discuss about the settings, but to actually join the session, when once all the parameters are set, you can just press join the session and a new link will be created. This is just about creating a classroom, a virtual classroom, and your students will just do the same thing. Click on the big blue button option on the live chapter 1 option and accept to join the session. This will bring them to this page that is loading. The loading time depends typically on your internet speed. Personally, I don't have a high internet speed, that's why it may take some time. And the time it is loading, let us continue to explore the other parts of this course. Okay, we are back on the course. You can see that I've segmented the course into topics, but you are free to name it chapters or whatsoever pleases you. Okay, in this chapter, you can add different kinds of resources for the chapter. You can add resource links. For example, this logo here denotes that computer science technology basics has a link assigned to it. When I clicked in this course, what happened? This course typically has it's one in which I just put the description and I inserted a link to a video, to a YouTube video. You can do that in case you think some resources may be good to be known by your students. So in this case, I inserted a video about computer basics for absolute beginners. So in settings, you can modify all those descriptions and the URL link if you like. So generally, when you're in this platform, if you think there are modifications you have to make, always go to the setting sections. Here you can see the URL link, the title of this section of the chapter, computer and technology basics, as well as a description. You are free to let your students see the description or not. You can save and return to the course, but since I don't make any modification, I just can cancel it and go back to computer science So that was for links. You can put links about pretty much anything. The other resources you may want to put, or you will obviously put, are your notes. Basically, you put your notes in file format. For example, here I uploaded a document, a lap, the laptop repair book workbook. I uploaded a document in PDF format, so my students can access them in one click, and they can even download them using the download button. So just by one click, they can have access to it, and they can as well um, you can as well modify this description and set it, and you can see the weight of this file. Okay, here in chapter 2 I just added another resources and I created an assignment. Assignments typically can be can be set in a pretty much good standard in this model platform. You can set the open date and time, when was the assignment given, at what time, the due date, what is the latest date and time to submit the assignment. The assignment can be submitted in different formats. That should be files, that should be text, that should be even links. You are the one to decide about that. You can still go to settings and make modifications about the assignment and note that if you see this p tag and all the like, it means that the website has not completely loaded, so just wait for minutes and you will be able to see the description of the assignment, the activity instruction. It is good to give clear instructions. Additional file, if your assignment have some additional files you want your students to know or to take into consideration during the assignment, feel free to add that. You can change the due date, as well as the due time. You can change the due date as well as the due time. The submission, you can define how many files do they submit. It is important in case you want to limit the amount of submissions for the students. If they just have to submit one file, you just set one file to avoid confusion also. Okay, you can just accept. It is said here to file submission, but if it is they should submit text, you can activate online text and enable the word limit if you need any word limit, for example an AC. Okay, this was for that. There are more options here that you can explore. How many points is the assignment graded, all the grading characteristics and all the like. So let me go back to this assignment to just mention the submission. The submission section permits you to see all the submissions of your different students. This course, there's no submission. Nobody submitted anything since it's just a test. Since it is just a test. So you can also see advanced grading if you have any submissions. By the way, okay, this was about assignments. This was about assignments. Now you can see you can add books. Typically, books are on the same principle like pages, except that books are text that you can navigate to. For example, this can be considered as a page in a book. You have a table of content. You can navigate through the book easily, either through the table of content or through these arrows. You are free to add books, but remember, books are not files. You are the one writing the chapters of each book and the content of those books, and you navigate with these arrows. So books are not chapters. You can still modify those books in settings, import chapters if you want to use external resources or chapters from another file. You can upload the file here, or any kind of resources you feel great to make your book, to make a book. But book is very rarely used. The main resources that I personally think you would generally use are announcements, to make announcements to your students, live with a big blue button to make online 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 classes, online classes, links to include external links in your courses. Each that should be videos or files or any kind of link you feel as good to know, as useful, or need to include in your course. Files, any file type. You have a PDF. You can add PowerPoint. You can add Word documents. In fact, any files you want to add, you can add it with a file resource type with a little description and a title for it, and your students will be able to access them just in one click and will be able to download them. You can also set up assignments for your students and they will be able to access it very well. You can also add exams. I've not demonstrated here, but I will show you later. But before that, let's go and see the big blue button. Okay, I can authorize the microphone, the speaker. It will create an audio. So let me stop this. Okay, you can just join audio. Now you have access to the big blue button. Feel free to share your webcam in case you want to be seeing, to unmute yourself to speak. Your student can ask videos. You can share your screen, make a presentation, and there's also a chat section where you can chat with your students. If there's an important text or message you want to forward to them, just feel free to send them to the public chat, and you will see all your students here. You'll be able to share notes directly. Okay, so this is the big blue button, and this is small summaries of all what can be done with it. Okay, So then let me let me you can increase the screen size. You are free to increase the screen size of the big blue button to ensure to focus on it. Okay, available. Okay, that was all for the big blue button. Let us leave it. Okay, we have now explored the courses, how an existing course can be accessed, the different ways in which they can be accessed by the students and lecturers if they want to see the course in a student perspective. You can also see the participants in the course. Just go to the participant section where you will see anyone enrolled in this course. This is a teacher. You can the people responsible to enroll students are the admin staff. So no need for you to be here. You can just come here if you want to see all the participants in your course, or if you have to remove a student for one reason or the other, one reason or another. And you can find the general grades per students, grade per student in different sections. So you can find the general grades assigned to your students. And for other activities, you just go to the activity section where you can find all the activities I created. Assignments, assignments, the assignment variable and data types in Python. The big blue button where I made the live chat, the live classroom, live chapter 1. The forum, which is typically for announcements and for messages for discussion, and other resources where you can find a page, as I told you, how to be successful in a course. The book in chapter 3, also how to be successful in this course. URL links, computer and technology basics. Files, main reference, a PDF file by the way, and other links. Okay, so we have explored how a course can look like. Now we want to explore how to manage our own, how to add resources to the course and manage the settings. And for that I created this course, Introduction to Software Engineering, still under the computer engineering domain. This course is completely empty. There is just an announcement which is always there by default. New section. The section don't even have names. There should be no participant except the lecturer and the course creator, who is the administrator. So to edit this page, to add resources, what should we do? We activate this edit mode here on the top right of our screen. We activate this edit mode and wait some seconds for it to load. When the edit mode is activated, you will see that there were some changes in this page. You can change the name from general section to anything you feel more convenient. You can change the section names from new section to, let's say, chapter 1, or you can even, instead of saying chapter 1, you can say algorithm and data structures, algorithms. Feel free to decide what is in each section. And if the section is too large, you can divide it into multiple parts. For example, if this section was called programming, I will have added a subsection. You press this add content button, and add a subsection. Because we are currently in a section called programming, we add a subsection. We can call it algorithms. You press enter, and we come back here. Let us add another one. Data structures. Okay, so as I'm from demonstrating, in this platform you have sections of the course and subsections. Feel free to organize them as it pleases you. So let's now try to add resources. By default, the announcement resource is already there. You can rename it or ensure that everybody have access to it. Create groups, ensure it is visible to groups. You can delete it, remove it, assign roles. In fact, let's now add a resource. To add a resource, you still press the add content button and choose activity or resources. So we will see different activities and resources, assignments that you can add, that we saw how it functions, big blue button, book, many others files, um, page file. I demonstrated page, assignment, big blue button, book, forums, and file previously, as well as link. There's also one thing I would like to demonstrate when I add it is quiz. Is the quiz. In case you want to add a quiz, one as or an exam, you can select the quiz option. Let us now try to add some activities and files. We will start by adding the big blue button. As I told you, the big blue button is what permits us to have online classes and events. Okay, when you press new big blue button, we arrive in this page. We can give the room name, for example, um, teacher room, let's say study room, study room. No, online class. I think it's more descriptive. Online class. You can set the home settings, a welcome message if needed, recording view, not access. All by default, all users enrolled, which include all teachers or students, can access it. You can decide on the time in which you want this classroom to go on. So you can just decide on the time. You can pick or choose with the arrow. Feel free to use what pleases you, and you can save it and return to the course. When I press save and return to the course, you see that this section has been added. Online class. Online class has been added. So let us now see if any other activity can be added in the general section. Book, no. Let us add assignments. Let us add assignments still in this section. You can give the name of your assignment as you like. I will choose first assignment. First assignment and program a calculator in Python. Okay, you can give instruction. You can describe the assignment, what is supposed to be done, the different instructions. Use VS Code as IDE. The different instructions. Feel free to add images to style the description and the activity instruction as it pleases you. Add content if you want to add videos, audio for instruction and description. Feel free to do that. And you can add additional files. You can decide on when the assignment is starting, from where it is allowed from, and the due date, the date of submission for the assignment. You can decide on if you wish to have files submission or just text as your assignments. You can decide on much more things about submission and grade. It is quite intuitive, so feel free to explore this platform deeply. Send content change notification, you can enable it. Okay, we now have announcement, online class, first assignment, the open date and the due date. Okay, now for chapter 1, we can now see how to add file. To add file, still add activity. As I told you, book, you will not too much use that because you should hide the content of a book yourself, chapter by chapter. It's not a matter of uploading a book, a PDF file. If you have a PDF file to upload, feel free to use the file option. So I will choose the file option to upload a resource in this course. You can give the name of the file. Let's say first file. First file, I can describe it. A file on software engineering SA. I can just press here to select the file. To select the file, you can press upload. You can use a URL downloader to take the file online. So I can choose the file from my PC. Let us find a document that will be convenient for this activity. For this activity, let us take this document. Okay, laptop prepare. You can decide the name to give to that file, the author, and upload this file. Okay, it may take a bit of time depending on the size of the file. So it's important to decide clearly if you want to upload files or to use instead URL links, because some files are available online. So maybe the file you want to upload is already available online. Okay, the file has been uploaded. I will keep it simple and save this file and return to the course. So from now, the student will have access to this file. They will just need to click to access, to open it, or to download it. You can describe into more details this chapter 1. Maybe you can say chapter 1 covers basics of software development, of software engineering, covers basics of computers for software engineers. Feel free to add the more detailed description to ensure to provide proper guide to your students. Okay, let's go back here. So we saw how to add file, how to add the big blue button for online classes, how to add assignments. Let us now see if there's any other resource that you will mostly use. The page are text you put yourself. That's why I will not describe it into details. I will not create one. I will just open it and show it to you. So you can just write the name of the file, the description of the file, and then now you start writing the content of the page. You can feel free to use all the styles available to you. Then you save it. So I will cancel it. So it is pretty much straightforward to use to add the book. So the last activity I wish to add is before that I wish to add a quiz. You can add a quiz to make a simple CA or whatsoever you think. Adding a name, putting description, determining the time of the quiz, the time limit of that quiz, to hit the number of attempts of submission, the grading style of the quiz, questions, behavior. Okay, safe exam browser. Require the use of safe exam browser. Yes, it all depends how safe you want the exam to be, how restricted you want them to be when trying to take exams online. So then the competency, let us just add the name of this exam. Quiz 1. Okay, I'll add a description. I will not auto description. I will just or not enable time limit since there's already. Let me enable it. Let us leave it for 20 minutes. So let us enable this close the quiz time to determine the time in which we want to close this quiz. Let us say 1 p.m. Okay, okay. Let us save it. Let us save it. And here now we have a quiz as well as the closing time. Now the other and last resource I want to demonstrate is the URL. You can put URL on about different different things. URL on email testing, external service, you will use for this. Let's say magic Caesar dot parcel dot app. We use that as link. You can add a description of link, your lecture portfolio, and save and return to the course. If there is any issue, you will see that it will bring you back to the top. Okay. https / okay, the issue was I just put the https. Okay, now you can see all the resources that we used. You can feel free to explore all other activities and resources available in this system. Okay, this was all for this video, and I thank you for your kind attention. I hope this video has been useful to you. Feel free to explore other activities and to explore more about each activities, the different settings, the different options. Thank you very much for your attention.